right, sounds good. Welcome back to the realm between. Are you still here, Joe?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
You
good.
ran away.
All right.
I had nothing to add to the American Idol whatever conversation.
Oh, okay. No, I am. Instant Sandbox is our channel, guys. I am often caught unaware by Joe's habit of if he doesn't have something to say, just not saying anything at all, not even making a noise. It's like, oh, are you still here?
I don't get that concept. I gotta say something.
I'm one of these people that just makes, like editorial noises in the background, I guess.
I just give my 2 cents with cackling every once in a while.
I really have 2 cents to give. That's the problem.
So welcome back to the Court of Eight Queens in the realm between. In our last session, our druid friend Isla had gone to her room to commune with the Wild Mother and received a rather cryptic but reassuring type of commune. It didn't really answer her questions, but also it was a little bit calming and reassuring. She had retired early for the evening and taken some time to commune, and had the visitation from a moth of all things, unusual in the middle of the day, to say the least, which only made it more significant. At the same time, our tiny goblin bard and our grunty, mysterious and a little bit intimidating, shall we say, grunty, we're downstairs in the tavern center, in the tavern common room. Our bard had made several performances through the night, received some tips. You had passed a quiet and calm evening together, and had, I presume, retired to your separate rooms for a calm evening. And as we pass into the following morning, what do you all do as you wake up?
The first thing that I do every morning when I wake up is I jot down my dream. And tonight's dream was, this morning's dream was very weird. I was back at the Bard College, and I had my drawn-on mustache. Because goblins, we don't grow mustaches and beards, so every good bard boy, he always, draws it on. So I drew on my mustache, and I'm standing there. And then the next thing I know, I'm covered in blood, and there's dirt on me, and I got to swim to the top of the dirt. And when I poke my head out, there's nobody. There's no town. I am all alone, and there's papers. They're everywhere. They're blowing in the wind, and I go and I run. After I drag myself out of the dirt, and I pick up the paper, and it says, betrayed. The fuck? And then I look at another one, and I run, and I go to grab it, and as soon as I do, the dream ends, and it is stupid, so I am sitting there brooding because it is a bad dream, and a bad morning, because that next paper, it had the answers. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to put it back in my bookcase, or my little satchel, and then I am going to go to the pub and see if I could have some cereals with some ale in it to make them, not so crunchy.
All right. Did you want to draw a card that would tell you the significance of your dream? Or possibly give you the significance to your dream?
Yes.
All right.
Do they kind of float above our head after they're after the player chooses it for the character, it's like it pops up over my head like, what the fuck? Who did that?
If you want to visualize it that way, that's fine. As you go down into the common room, you see the journeyman sitting there, the alleyman sitting there at the table, the same man that had been with you sort of in a convivial way through the evening before, and he's sitting there very much messing about with cards at the table. And as you come up, he turns the top card over, and he looks at you and says, "Ah, this is you today." And he gives you
Have to go down to instant send the boxy. There. Bam.
Oh my god.
Ah, Robert Ducky, you know, there used to be this goblin long time ago. Her name was Bliss, and she was like magic. She can poop eggs, and sometimes they were like, they were gold, but for the most part, they were just edible eggs, and sometimes they were even hard boiled.
And you've never heard the story as you sit down and the innkeeper brings you a cup of ale and the cereal that you've ordered, and you sit there and you discuss this card with the alleyman, and he tells you, well, that this doesn't necessarily represent goblins, nor does it necessarily represent eggs. What it really represents is the concept of the fool, which in the card reading does not mean foolish. It just means innocent. Ready for changes, open to new ideas, willing to take chances, and ready to jump out and absolutely make a new day.
Yes, and do you know what? I am going to give you some major life advice right now. Do not eat sausages before you go to bed. Man, them dreams are fucking weird.
And he looks at you and says, yeah, no, I can understand that. I have the same problem when I eat, like old cheese and wine before bed.
Oh, that does not even sound like it would be good dreams in the middle of the day.
It's kind of an acquired thing, I guess, but it's a pitfall I fall into over and over again. I sit down and have a snack, I fall asleep, and then I have some really strange dreams.
That's probably how you got this job doing the card thing, huh? It's a good gig.
Might have something to do with it, yeah, you're right. Actually, my gig is taking care of the tower and the grounds around the palace, but the cards are a good, secondary type thing. I'll find a lot of card readers at the court.
That is very cool. So she's gonna pour the cup of ale over what I assume is probably a mostly dry oatmeal.
Yeah, it's kind of
Just
muesli.
start eating it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that it tastes good, but then again, who knows what it tastes like? And to a goblin, it probably tastes wonderful. What are you doing this morning, Ira? You had gone to bed early, so I can't imagine that you didn't wake up early. You said you were going to wake up your companions early.
Yeah, I feel like Isla probably got up just as the sun was rising and, went down to the pub, stopped by the bar, and was like, could I have, maybe some fruit, like a platter of fruit, and is there a garden with flowers?
The innkeeper, the capuchin innkeeper, looks at you, and he's, still, you're struck once again by how much he looks like a monk. He looks at you and says, I have fruit, I have. Garden, I don't have. Then we have, basically the common room and the stables. We don't have a lot of extra space around the inn. I have to use whatever space I have for either guests or storage, basically.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just take the fruit and, I'm gonna go outside for a moment, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, did you want something to drink, miss?
If you could have like a not warm, but like very hot, almost boiling glass of milk waiting for me when I get back.
Oh, that I can do. And he goes ahead and puts some milk on like a steamer cup type thing and sets it aside. As you take the bowl of fruit and can easily avail yourself of the ability to walk out front. While you're doing that, I would imagine your character's coming on downstairs there, Drift?
Yeah. I think Griff just kind of wanders in and pulls up a seat next to Jade. Oh, hey there. How you doing then?
Oh, this is pretty good. Do you want a bite?
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll just get my own bowl though.
Oh yes, you are going to love it. It's creamy but bubbly, and it makes your belly feel all weird because while it's in there, it seems like it's like growing 2 or 3 times. So you drink one oat cereal, and you're going to be like drunk for days.
I'm guessing it's like 8 a.m. at this point.
Yeah, or earlier.
Oh, sure, bud. Maybe I'll just have mine with milk though.
Okay, you're lost.
So you go up to the counter and the capuchin, the innkeeper, greets you and says, what can I do for you?
Oh, hey there, bud. How's it going then?
Well, it's going well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? I hope you passed a peaceful evening.
Oh yeah, sure. Can't complain. Just whatever you got for breakfast. I'll take some of that, please.
Well, I have the muesli, the porridge that the young goblin over there is eating. Your druid friend took some fresh fruit. I have more of that as well. You don't strike me as a grain and fruit eater much. I do have some fried meats if you would like that instead, with some eggs possibly.
Yeah, that sounds like the ticket.
All right, so he says, "I'll be out with it in a minute. Did you want something to drink?"
No, just water's fine.
I said, "All right, I'll bring it out to your table in just a minute." And in more than a minute, but less than 10, he brings out a plate with some fried breakfast. Basically a full English type thing.
Perfect.
And sets it down in front of you with a tankard of water. And says, enjoy your meal. Young miss, can I get you anything more? Seeing that you've finished off your cereals there. And reaches to take your bowl if you're finished with it.
I am going to stab at him with my spoon and be like, do you know what I want? I want, do you know what? Here, you could take the bowl. I am sorry for trying to stab at you. It is like, in where I come from, they always try to take your food, and you're small, and you're weak, and so, you don't get to live because everybody steals your food, and, I was having flashback moment. I'm very sorry. But, I will have some of those red seed things that he's got right there that smells really good.
Red seed things? What do you...
Yes, so she's gonna kind of... I'm so sorry. Don't stab me. I'm not stealing your food. Do you see that? And she's gonna point to, the barbecued baked beans shit that he's got on his plate.
Oh, yes. No, I understand exactly what you've got. I've got some of that. Yeah, I can get you some of that. No problem. And he was very much kind of nodding in comprehension as you apologize for trying to stab him with the spoon. But the longer your story went on, the more puzzlement crossed his face, and his head motion changed. Like, I don't get this at all. And then when you reached out towards Drip's plate and pointed at the beans, he was like, it was like a moment of comprehension, and he went back to quick, up and down nods. He says, yes, yeah, no, I can bring you some of that. And he will take your bowl, rinse your bowl under the pump that stands at the back of the room, fill it with beans, and bring it back to you, the very same bowl.
Beans on toast for breakfast, that does sound like something a goblin would eat.
Yeah, very much so.
Don't know what beans are. It is seeds of stocky things. So Drift, where do you come from? Like, why are you here?
Oh, just from Shadowfell, kind of a fixer of sorts for the Raven Queen.
Oh, what do you fix? Like her broken feathers, or?
Oh, mostly just kill people. It seems that's what she mostly needs fixed.
I'm going to give you a big old meta here real quick, like Drift, while we're talking about this. It's a good opportunity to do that. The Raven Queen does not actively kill anybody or actively seek to kill anybody except for people who manipulate death. She hates the undead.
I thought she was all about collecting. Like she collected people and objects and memories. So I kind of pictured her as collecting like interesting people, and Drift is collecting them for her.
She absolutely collects interesting people when they die in their natural time, and she sends her paladins and her avatars to do exactly that. She does collect people. Those who have souls that fall in a balanced place between good and bad. Maybe they are good people who've done some bad things, or maybe they're bad people who've done some redeeming things and they don't necessarily fall into either heaven or hell. She provides a place that's sort of in between, and she collects them, brings them to her in their natural time. Doesn't necessarily ever kill them. Who she does send her paladins after and her avatars after actively is those who manipulate the undead, those who create the undead, and the undead themselves. She has a serious downer for anybody who messes about with times of death.
Okay.
So you would have been sent out to harvest souls in their time to collect objects and things for her, and you would have been sent out to take her revenge on anybody who was keeping people alive past their time.
People who were stirring up the balance between life and death.
Okay?
So, you are a necromancer hunter?
Yeah, I guess among other things.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
I also think there's kind of like the ultimate of the euthanasia. Those who are stuck between life and death would be given a good death by her.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, those who are still alive but want to be dead, want to be released.
The goddess suicide.
The goddess of assisted death, not necessarily suicide.
So does that make fucking Joe, what's it called?
Kevorkian.
Kevorkian.
Yeah, kind of a Kevorkian figure. I see that. What do you think, Joe?
Oh.
Yeah, that works.
So, very much...
You are kind of a jack of all trades.
Well, it's kind of a cross between Van Helsing and Kevorkian.
Dope.
Yeah, that's the image.
Right?
So we actually,
really too.
She sent me here. I don't really know what I'm doing yet. I think I need to go speak to the God. Is it the Queen of the Ravens or the Raven Queen or I forget. One's a lady and one's a god.
The Raven Queen is the goddess. The Queen of Ravens is the lady.
All right. I think we're going to speak to the lady today. We got our appointment, right?
Yes, I think so. Well, if we get there soon enough. But you know, I had a really bad dream. And the alderman here, you know, and he was he's right next to you. Super quiet.
Oh, geez, bud. I didn't see you there.
When he looks up and waves at you, he has a card in his hand as he waves a card at you.
Yeah, I'll take it from him.
Oh my God, I can't believe this deck.
If you got another snake dick if you got a snake dick extension.
No, what he got was this.
Ravens.
It's called the owl, but my God.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
And my son will testify that was the top card, and I flipped the top card.
The night owl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's dope looking.
No.
There are so many of these cards I would get tattooed.
Right?
Yeah, that one's really cool.
So, he looks at that and says, this one seems oddly appropriate for you. I realize you're not a bird, but you somehow seem linked to the night birds. The birds of the darkness. At least the card's saying you are.
Oh, sure, bud. Yeah, he'll just kind of put it in his pocket. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep the cards, but he's keeping that one.
Oh, yeah, no, he's perfectly happy with you keeping the card. I'm going to go ahead and look up the meaning of that card because it's been a while since I read it and I don't remember it. So just 1 second here. The night owl.
You collect? Oh, go ahead.
Well, this is perfect with the meta I just gave you. The night owl is that thing you already know but won't or can't admit to yourself. It's knowing that something is your fault, or the only way to fix something is to apologize for what you did, or that it isn't right for you. It's harsh wisdom, but a promise that you already have the tools you need to solve the problem. It's also the knowledge that you may have known but have forgotten, and it comes to you in the middle of the night, and you remember, you wake up at 3 a.m. saying, oh yeah, that's what I forgot.
Well, that's just Drift's entire backstory in one card.
Right?
Nothing creepy about that. Just keep doing it, Wilde.
Right, though? This deck, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this deck, I'm telling you, sometimes. All right.
Just slip that in my pocket and not think about it, because that's how I deal with things.
Does he show it on his face?
I don't think so. I think this is Drift's normal state of just not thinking about the things that he doesn't want to think about, which there are a lot of.
Oh, wow, that's intense. So, Isla, tell us what you're doing outside as your companions are sitting at their breakfast and having their cups read.
So she kind of like has this platter of fruit, and she's like munching on a pear while she's like looking for a good spot to set up, and she just kind of like goes like under like a window by the front of the inn and like places the platter down, and then she very like systematically stomps on all of the remaining fruit until it's just like a pile of mush, and then she rips some grass up and like sprinkles it on top, and then she looks up to the sky and goes, "You're welcome," and then she heads back inside.
All right. So, are you after making your sacrifice to the Wild Mother of the spoils of her trees and the grass of her fields? You go back inside. Are you going and getting some actual food now?
Yeah, she's still eating her pear, but she's also like she wants her hot milk.
Okay. So you walk up to the counter, and the capuchin, the innkeeper, hands you your mug of scalded milk, and indicates that there's, honey if you want to put some honey in it. Then he has a little bit of cocoa if you want to stir some cocoa into it. There's cinnamon, there's nutmeg. You can add whatever you want to it.
Wyatt would approve so much.
She's like, this should be fine, thank you. And she just takes the mug and her pear and like plops down with the other three. And she does, well, to her, she only sees her two companions. She does not notice the alley man.
Right, exactly. What did you say there? I missed what you said, Drift.
Oh, I said Wyatt would approve so much.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Yep. So the alley, okay, hang on. As the dog dropped his bone behind me.
Oh.
Moron. As you're sitting there having your hot milk and your pear, your companions look up at you and greet you, and you don't see the alley man, but he looks up at you and says, "Oh, hello there."
Oh my god. How are you always around?
Oh, well, I mean, this is my town, this is my place, this is where I often am.
Oh, all right. Well, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. And you see that he's absolutely still messing about laying out cards on the spread in front of him.
Can I have
What?
Oh, go ahead, Gala.
You should have some of these baked seeds. These things are the greatest.
Baked seeds? What are you talking about?
Yes, they are tasty. They're sweet and tangy, but they are like, and I'm going to pick one up out of the bowl and I'm going to squish it between my fingers and be like, see, they're so like soft and they're the very best things ever.
I've not had beans before.
They're not beans. Beans are like hard and they're like crunchy and they make good ammo, but these are seeds.
No, they're beans that have been boiled until they're soft.
That is a crime against the kind, so whatever. Just gonna eat my beans then.
Well, at least you're calling them beans now.
It's looking at you.
In my middle image, the little dog is hiding, eating her beans.
And Isla just looks kind of confused and kind of swats the bean away as it's flicked at her. Like, you're a very small and angry person.
I'm not angry. I am, what do you call it? It is, so, okay, maybe a little bit angry. And I'm just gonna put my head in my bowl and slowly eat my beans.
Is she alright?
No!
Alright. And I'm just gonna awkwardly pat her on the back. Didn't we have an appointment today? Should we maybe, finish up here and then possibly leave before she drowns in her beans?
Yeah, Drift just stands up ready to go. Oh, sure.
So you're heading out to the car?
Are you finished with your beans?
I'm gonna burn them.
Okay. She's just gonna kind of usher Jade towards the door while I guess Jade's face is still in the bowl of beans.
She's holding it to her side, but she's definitely just covered in barbecue sauce from her nose to her chin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip some of the moss off of my moss dress and try to clean her face a little bit.
Oh. Do you use your movie mask for my face?
No, it's fine. I think it is going to better use this way. You're covered in sauce.
That makes me saucy.
Yeah, you are saucy.
Okay. Hold on, I'm being mugged right off. 1 second. If you made that last thing again, I missed it because the dog was barking in my face.
I am saucy.
You're saucy. You're very saucy. And as you are walking out of the room, just before you walk out of the room, you feel the alley man behind you, walking with you, and he reaches out and catches you by the arm, Isla, and hands you a card.
Oh my god, you're still here.
Are you prepared to be creeped?
Thank you. Can I? Is this? It's for me. I can just keep it.
And he just looks at you, yeah, says, yeah, this one spoke to me for you today.
All right. You don't know me.
I don't need to know you. The cards speak for themselves.
Don't I know?
Oh my god. Fuck this. She looks at the card. Oh, that. See, I was actually wondering if they had a garden anywhere. They didn't, so I had to use grass. Thank you. This is perfect.
And he looks at you and says, you're welcome. Any of the card readers in the castle or the palace can give you an interpretation of that if you don't want to take them from me.
I mean, can you do it in less than 5 minutes? We do have to go.
Well, I'm going with you. I have to go to the palace too. I have to report for work.
Oh, okay. Let's walk and talk.
All right, so as you're walking and talking with your friendly David man whose hands are very expressively moving around as he's talking, he tells you that that is the Six of Swords. And that it means many things, but mostly what it means is looking forward to new horizons, new homes, new goals, and new ideas. That whatever is in the past is in the past, and you've left it behind, and whatever happens from here on out will not be like what happened in the past. It will be different. It will be new.
Okie dokie. Okay, so we got 2 complete character background cards today, I see.
I like yours better.
I think you guys. I can say that fool was pretty indicative too. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure that fool card very much read like a foul card.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like somebody would be walking around with baked beans on their face.
Right. Oh goodness. Isla kind of nods at this explanation, but I suppose that does make sense. Yeah, no, it makes sense. I left, and I'm only doing new things from now on. I am a yes man.
And he looks at you and says, it's good that you know this about yourself. That is a wonderful thing to know about yourself.
Do most people not know themselves?
And he looks at you and says, sadly, in my experience, no, most people do not know themselves.
I find it very hard to exist without knowing what to do. I don't understand that, but thank you for explaining.
And he says, you're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. And he will just go ahead, with that, pull ahead of you and walk off to the side. He doesn't go in the main entrance of the palace, he goes off into one of the side entrances. As you cross the
strange man. She's just
he was almost invisible at times.
Honestly, I don't feel like I'm ever alone anymore, and I don't know if I'm okay with that feeling.
Oh, hold on now. Aren't you religious?
Oh, I feel like religious is a strong word. I'm
Yes.
connected to the earth and to the Earth Mother, and I enjoy nature. religious, I wouldn't. Maybe, possibly. I don't think so.
Then you wouldn't be, never alone because the Earth Mother, she is with you always, right?
But I mean, currently we're walking on ground, correct? And then there's dirt under our feet. So no matter where you go, Earth Mother's always there because she's part of everything. So it's not.
Oh man!
Yeah, it's like we're walking on her, but in a respectful way.
I don't know how you could do it. How do you even find time to masturbate alone if she is always there watching you?
Do what?
For your domain and stuff. You can't do that with other people around. It is creepy.
What? I don't understand.
Oh, you have so much to learn. I will get you a good book for that.
I do like to read.
I got one for you. It is called Dusk Love. It is about the best love story ever.
Oh, I love love stories. I love love. Okay, yes, I'll read it. Oh no.
Do you want one too, Drift?
Drift is pretending he hasn't heard any of this conversation.
He walks fast and he is so tall. He can't hear nothing up there.
I don't think that's how height works, but sure.
Briefly considers trying to start a conversation with the alley man, changes his mind, and just keeps walking.
and Isla's gonna try to catch up with Drift. Have you ever read Tusk Love? I've not heard of it, but I'm hoping to. I've gotten one recommendation. I'm just hoping to get some outside sources. Have you read it?
Oh, hey there, Isla. No.
Hello.
Can't say I've read that one.
The alley man says, "Oh yeah, no, I heard of that. That's kind of racy, but good."
Racy. There's lots of races. I like
Not what I meant by racy, but that's okay.
Isla's looking in between these three people. I feel like you all know something about this book that I don't know, but sure, whatever. We'll go with it.
He says he thinks that you could probably find a copy of it at the bookstore in town.
Oh, lovely. All right, well, I suppose we'll probably see you later, or not see you, but you'll be there anyway. Bye.
Yeah, no, he says his first duty is to go through the tower of the lady and light all the candles, and then after that he'll be going around the court and doing the same with all of the chambers and the day chambers and everything, making sure that everything within the court is in tip-top shape type thing for the day.
Just out of curiosity, does any part of your candle job involve cleaning up the wax?
I clean up the wax within the court. The lady doesn't want it cleaned up.
Oh.
She says it prevents a challenge for those who come to see her.
Oh, a challenge it does indeed present. I almost fell down your stairs, but however the lady wants it, I suppose.
She says that no knowledge is appreciated unless it is worked for.
That rings very true to me. I like her.
And she is liked by all who know her.
All right.
And with that, he leaves you, goes in the side entrance, as I said, to go about his duties. You are arriving at the front entrance to the palace. What do you wish to do?
Drift, didn't you say that you really needed to talk to her first?
Yeah, I suppose we wait for our appointment. Is that how this works?
Okay, did you want to talk with the lady in the tower again, or did you want to talk with the Queen of Ravens?
That's the other lady, the Raven lady.
The Queen of Ravens, okay. So in that case, you would enter into the main courtyard of the palace, the courtyard of the fountain, And the tradition, the keeper of the fountain, indicates that the main audience chambers are ahead of you, and you see already a queue of people, not a very great queue because it's still really early in the morning, but there's, a queue of like 5 or 10 people in front of you, standing, waiting for an audience with the queens. And he says, just go ahead and go on in there, and when the queens have a moment, they'll call you in.
All right, line up.
All right, so you're standing waiting in queue, and it's moving pretty quickly. People are admitted in, and then 10 minutes or so later, another person is ushered in, type thing.
Fine.
Yeah, like you get like a line at a well-run amusement park where they just move people along, type thing. And you find yourself in this is appropriate, in the Hall of Mirrors, waiting for your admittance to see the queens. And
is it a literal hall of it's just mirrors everywhere?
Mirrors on both walls, just like the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles, where it's mirrors on the walls, and you're kind of in a grand, ornate hallway where the mirrors make the room appear and feel bigger than it is.
Isla is resolutely just watching the floor as they wait and walk because she doesn't like looking in mirrors.
All right. And you see several people kind of looming around you. What are you doing, Drift, as you're walking through this hallway?
I think just not much, just in line.
All right. So just kind of moving along, not necessarily looking at any one particular reflection or any one person.
Yeah, just lack of curiosity as usual.
All right. What about you, Jade?
Well, you see, Jade does not like lines and waiting. Goblins don't live that long, so we don't have time to stand in lines. So, I am going to reach into my pocket, and I am going to pull out this, let me see how to spell it. Okay, so I got this really nice coin. It is a platinum, and I would like to. Well, no, it is not platinum because it does not work like that. It is it will be a handful of coppers, and I am going to use distort value to make them look more bigger and more expensive, and I am going to throw them out into the thing so that people maybe get greedy and move out the line so they could be like, nope, he was behind us, don't you remember, dumbass?
All right. So you pull this handful of poppers from your pocket and toss them on the floor in front of you, instead of be at the feet of the people that are in front of you in line. Make a sleight of hand roll to see how well your deception comes across.
Oh,
Do you have a spell that you're associating with this?
Yes, distort value. Let me make it pop up down in the thingy.
Okay, alright.
Why is it not good? Oh, I did change that. I swear I changed it.
Don't worry about it. I'll look at it this for right now.
Yeah, let me fix it again.
Oh, that's messed up too. It lasts for 8 hours. Those poor people are gonna think they're rich.
All right, so this handful of coppers that you throw out, as you throw it away from you, they kind of, instead of receding and getting smaller as they leave your hand, they get bigger. And the copper takes on a silvery white glint of platinum as it lands at the feet of these people, and you don't need a real sleight of hand. And they perceive it as, 6 or so platinum pieces strewn across the floor, and immediately they dive for it. I mean, who wouldn't dive for platinum at their feet? And you were able to move up easily to the next in line. And the person that is standing in front of you at the front of the line is the handmaiden to the queens, and she very much saw what you did as you were standing there between the mirrors, and she looks at you and says, I see you next to see the ladies, next to see the queens.
Yes, our friend here, and I'm going to kind of go behind him and push him up a little bit, and be like, tell her about the queen.
And we have a card that represents the handmaiden to the queens. Because of course we do, which is where I got the Hall of Mirrors from.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we have the lady amongst the reflections. Make perception rolls, all of you.
Ew.
I think I could build an entire story off of that one card.
I feel like that's most of the cards in the deck.
I'm pretty sure that was Matthew's first adventure.
Right? Yeah, it was. Almost was, wasn't it? Yeah, the first game I played with you guys, that was almost that same card, wasn't it? Wow, what a flashback that is. Yeah, almost 2 years ago, the first one-shot I ran with this group, the first game I played with Matthew, first game I played with this group and completely, I pulled them through mirrors in a funhouse mirror maze and pulled them into doppelgangers, battle with doppelgangers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, so as you're standing there, the lady tells you that you'll be next to see the queens, but you realize, you especially, Jade and Isla, you definitely are still feeling the oppressive nature of the mirrors all around you. Drift, you see images in those mirrors that are not matching the images of the people in the hallway.
I mean, it's a weird place. I don't think Drift thinks about it too much.
Fair enough.
Like there's weird magical stuff happening. It's it's just kind of the place.
I love how chill Drift is on any given occasion.
I just love that. I can't. There's no phasing him. He just does Drift. He's not Drift to remain. He's Drift the unfazed.
Yup.
I mean, it's definitely maladaptive at some point, but
yeah.
It's not necessarily a good trait, but so far it hasn't been a bad one.
in some situations, it's good.
Alright, so I'm going to look up that card because I don't recall its actual meaning, so 1 second, I know what meaning I give it, but I don't recall it. Alright, this is appropriate. I only notice this card sometimes, like it comes and goes on its own. When it comes up in a reading, I view it as an inkling of something being wrong in what we see, how we perceive the world, a sense of anxiety, something being slightly off. It's a disconnect between you and how you think of yourself, your anxiety, but what you see in the mirror is somehow not you. Dissociation and separation of self from the vessel. Days when your routine feels strange and too large for you. Imposters and imposter syndrome alike. As advice, I see this.
That one personally at all.
No. As advice, I see it as a reminder that there is nothing else that can live for you. You have to do it for yourself. Who you see in the mirror is in fact you, even when it doesn't look like you. So, I'm not completely going with that interpretation with this particular game. I'm using it in its more literal sense, in that there are images that you see in the mirror, drift especially, that don't match up with the people that are standing there in the hallway. But, they're in the mirror. They don't necessarily affect what's going on around you, so you don't think too much about it. As you are drawn into the actual court of the queens, the court is a beautiful place. It's truly, truly amazing. It has long, tall columns of onyx, of jade, of carnelian, of ivory, of silver, and gold, and one of the columns looks like it's teak or ebony. It's the heavily dark carved wood. Another column looks like it's made of brilliantly red coral. It's just these tall pillars of gems and precious substances in a kind of a circular formation. And at the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, are 2 thrones at each point. And in the center of the court is a circular, like a carpeted dais, where someone comes in to speak with the queens, steps up on the dais, and faces the queens that they wish to address specifically, that they're located in the center of the room so that all queens can ask questions, and the person can rotate to face the queen that is questioning them. And the keeper of the lady of the court opens the door, allows you to step inside, and tells you to go ahead and mount the dice in the center of the room and face the queen to whom you wish to speak. And you see before you, seated on the 8 thrones, 2 queens at each point. And the queen that you're specifically looking to speak with is the Queen of Ravens, and she is seated next to her companion queen, the Queen of Wands, at the southern point.
Alright. Griff hops up on the dais and looks over at the Queen of Ravens. Oh, hey there then, bud. How you doing?
Are you and Jade going up to the dais with him, or are you going to stand off to one side?
I think Isla immediately got distracted by the large teak column and did not even register the directions they were given. She's just walking over to this huge wooden column to touch it.
But when you do, you realize that it's alive. It is going through the floor and through the ceiling.
She's gonna hug it.
Yeah, it's a living tree.
Cool.
Yeah, Jade, what are you doing?
So Jade is kind of going to, when she walks into the room, she's got her notepad and up to her chest, and her hand with the pen, the quill, holding it, and she's kind of cowering and walking in kind of nervously. But she's going to scuttle up after Drift so that she could take notes, because she does not know if only the podium area has sound.
Right? Okay, so you're going to go up there with Drift to the podium?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you greet the Queen of Ravens, and she looks at you curiously as your greeting is light and formal, and not at all what they're used to, but not disrespectful. Just informal. And she inclines her head rather regally, and when she does, you realize that black feathers envelop her as she is wearing a cloak of raven feathers around her red velvet dress. And
that's a real neat cloak then.
Next to her, the Queen of Wands is a beautiful, dark-skinned woman who holds a wooden spear in her hand, and it kind of lays across the arms of her throne as she looks at the Queen of Ravens and kind of smirks and says, "Oh, he's one of yours, is he?" And the Queen of Ravens says, "Yeah, apparently, not one I was aware of, but certainly an interesting one." And she says, "Yes, well, this should be interesting," as she begins to pay attention to you as well. And you get the feeling that these queens act together incredibly well. And around the room, you hear the other 6 women, all of whom are beautiful and stately, all of whom are adorned in rather gorgeous raiment, some of whom look extremely intimidating or even frightening in their appearance, but they all kind of giggle and titter with laughter as the Queen of Ravens greets her visitor.
That's adorable.
And she's, yeah, and she says, and who might you be, my good man?
Oh, sure. Name's Silas, and I guess I don't really know why I'm here. Sent by the Raven Queen. I believe I'm supposed to talk to you, but didn't really understand about what.
The moment you mention the Raven Queen, her gaze sharpens. She leans forward, the feathers rustle on her cloak and her cape, and her right hand sort of stabs out from underneath her cape with a pointing index finger and says, "Come closer to me."
Yeah, I'll approach.
And she looks intently in your eyes, and you can feel her reading your visage, but more than that, she's reading deeply into you. And you feel like this woman has some insight. I'm going to go ahead and give you a photo of the card so you can kind of visualize the queen as she's talking to you. She very definitely has some insight into you personally and into your mission for the Queen of Ravens, or the Raven Queen. And next to her, the Queen of Wands, who is her companion, notices her intent look, sits forward as well, and the wooden spear that had been laid across the arms of her chair is now held in her right hand. Its butt planted on the floor, its point upright at the ceiling, as if she would stand up and use the spear all in one motion.
Like she's ready to stab me?
She's not so much ready to stab you as it's guarding her companion.
Okay.
You get the feeling they watch each other's back, these queens.
I imagine this is similar to interactions Drift would have with the Raven Queen, so he's a little bit used to the kind of weird, like overly intense bird-like regard of these powerful beings.
Yes, and she looks at you and says, "You were sent by my goddess. That means we have a task at hand. What this task is was not revealed to you. It has not yet been revealed to me. I must consult with my other queens. I will call you later this afternoon after we have had time to speak. For now, make yourself at home in our court." And then she looks to you, Jade, and says, "Little goblin, did you have a request for me?"
No, I didn't originally, but I got given this really cool feather, so I guess that makes me part of the group.
she says, she looks at the feather, looks at you, and says, yes, you're a favorite of our lady. You're very definitely one of mine.
So did she tell you anything about me?
Not yet, young one, but if she does, I will certainly tell you.
Okay. I am going to protect him. He's got snake dicks.
Yes, what?
Oh, don't mind me. That is that is for him to disclose to the people that he is closest with. You know, but I wouldn't do it if I was you. You might get snake dicks too.
And she's absolutely baffled by this exchange, but chalks it up to the weirdness of goblins and lets it go.
Oh my god.
And she looked over across the room at you, hugging the tree on the side of the court, Isla, and says, young miss, forgive me, are you Astamar?
Oh, me. Hi, yes. Hello.
Celestial one, what do you do in this realm between the Fae and the shadows?
I just travel, really. I like nature and I like exploring and I like long walks on the beach. I don't understand the question.
And she looks at her companion and they whisper together for a moment, and the Queen of Wands will gesture you to come to her. And she says, forgive me, my dear, to the Queen of Ravens. And she says, I believe that you belong to me. And she will reach out a hand towards you, that hand that does not hold the spear, for your hand.
What do you mean belong to you? And as she's saying this, she's like reaching out to take her hand just because curiosity is killing the cat.
And when you take her hand, you feel a jolt of connection.
Ah!
She brings the hand that holds the spear towards you and puts it sort of between your hands, so all four of your hands and hers, are clasping the spear together. And you feel in the spear the same life force you felt in that tree, in the column in the side of the room.
Ooh.
And she says, as the Queen of Ravens responds to the Raven Queen, so I answer to the Wild Mother. You are ours.
You know the Wild Mother?
I serve the Loud Mother.
And she's gonna let go of the staff and just like hug this woman very unceremoniously and give her kisses on her cheeks.
She hugs you back. And you are favored in the court of the Queen of Wands.
Oh, this feels nice.
And Drift, you and Jade, you are favored in the court of the Queen of Ravens.
Could you actually, you know what, now that I'm here, could you tell me about this pebble? Does it talk?
And she holds it in her hand and looks at it, and as she's holding it up, it takes on a little bit of a glow, so that before it looked to be a semi-translucent, beautiful green stone, now it appears to be a slightly glowing green stone. And she kind of holds it up, looks at it, and says, no, I don't believe that it inherently speaks. It may speak to you if you meditate on it, not in a voice, but in an impression, sort of as you commune with the Wild Mother, which I'm sure that you do. You may find knowledge within it. Maybe knowledge that you hold within yourself that you're not necessarily aware of.
Well, all right. I was just wondering, because she threw it at me when we first met, and then it talked, so I wasn't sure. All right, I'll keep it.
And she says, I would keep it. It very definitely is of the Wilde mother.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't expect to get anything out of this visit today. I was just accompanying, but this was lovely.
And she says, in unexpected times and unexpected places, there can be joy. And
exactly why I'm traveling.
And above her head rises, in your view, not necessarily in view of the entire room, but above her head rises the light of the sun and the joy of a sunny day.
Isla just starts grinning, like just Cheshire cat grinning. She's not saying words. She's like making like a high-pitched squeal in the back of her throat.
And you very definitely feel as if you have been blessed in communing with someone else who is holy to your goddess. And you are filled with joy.
Best day ever.
So with that, the lady of the court will lead you back out down the hallway of mirrors, back out to the courtyard of the fountain, and tell you to return at dusk for the Queen's decision. You have the freedom of the court for the day to do whatever you wish to do. You don't necessarily have to remain within the palace. You can also go do stuff in the city if you want to. But you can explore the palace, whatever you wish to do. But the queens will have their decision as to what they feel you were called there for later today.
I feel like Silas on his own would probably just sit here and wait, so somebody else should probably take the initiative here.
So, what do you think they got in this town? Do you think that maybe there's more magic places?
Well, I mean, if we have to be back by dusk, why don't we let's go to the bookstore. We can get Tusk Love, and then do whatever. We should probably get lunch and bring it back to Drift, since he doesn't seem. I'm pretty sure he's just taken up residence on that stool.
I'll follow along with you. I'm just saying, if the decision was Drift's, he would absolutely sit there all day. Silas the remained.
So, do you guys like doing, like, I don't know, stuff? We go shopping. We could, you don't drink, so that wouldn't be like, some fun for you. But maybe, so we get food. Is it too early to have breakfast again?
Again?
Half goblin, half hobbit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We could probably stop, by like a food cart on the way to the bookstore.
Yes, that sounds very good. Okay, so bookstore and food cart, and I'm going to look around and see if the alleyman is right behind us, like he is.
He's not there at the moment. He's doing his normal duties.
Say we go before he comes back and he gives us another card, and then we end up I don't know, with more problems.
That's probably for the best. We should make haste and leave quickly.
Okay, so where are you headed?
Bookstore? Bookstore?
On the way to the bookstore.
All right, so you're headed to the bookstore. All right, as you head out to the bookstore, you head out of the fort, down the main street of town. You see shop after shop surrounding you. And, my fucking God. I turned 3 cards. And I'm going to take a picture of the 3 cards because, damn. Hold on.
This makes me so nervous.
I need 1 second, the babies just got here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the alpaca son is definitely Isla.
Right? It's so cute. Just a content, happy alpaca.
It's beautiful.
That's pretty much Isla on any given day.
I mean, 2 servants of the Wild Mother greeting themselves greeting early in the morning. Of course, there's going to be a moment of "Here comes the sun, here comes the sun." Of course, that's going to happen.
Oh my God, these 3 cards are you kidding me?
Mm-mm.
What?
That's 2 8 of Pentacles. Those are both the 8 of Pentacles.
What's the meaning of the pentacles?
The first one is self-care. The second one is craftsmanship and appreciation of creation, of creativity. The third card is the 3 of tomes. It means knowledge. It literally means books.
I'm just like kind of stuck on the middle one. It's a bunch of coins, and what the fuck just happened?
Right?
I hate this. I hate this.
Yeah, no, the first one is
Isla's about to get some serious knowledge that she didn't necessarily want.
I mean, the first one is very definitely Bed Bath and Beyond. No, not Bed Bath and Beyond. What's the spa shop? Lush.
Bath and Body. Oh yeah, Lush with all the bath bombs.
Yeah, it's Lush or Bath and Body Works. The second one is every craft fair you ever went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the third one is your favorite bookstore.
Oh my God.
I literally can't walk into those Bed Bath and whatever stores because all that like fragrance and perfume, my whole head just explodes.
Oh yeah, they kill me.
My asthma, I can't breathe. If even walking by Lush at the mall makes my lungs like seize up.
It's hard to walk by them. I was going to say it's really hard to walk by those stores.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then Abercrombie and Fitch and like H&M, they have like those little misters that literally mist the entrance with cologne.
Gosh, criminal. That's warfare.
Like that's
warfare.
At the kiosk who just like sprays you in the face. Like, do you want to buy this? Like, I don't, but I do want to kill you now.
Yeah, exactly. You have made it so I can't breathe. As soon as I can breathe again, I'm going to kill you.
You have just assaulted me, sir.
I cannot breathe right now. As soon as I can breathe again, you're going to die. Run.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Right?
I hate every single person who thinks it's fun to spray someone with something. Like, you don't know what my life is like. I'm about to go into anaphylactic shock, you motherfucker.
Right? Oh, God. Yeah, childhood asthma kid. Growing up in the 70s with asthma.
Oh.
In malls with all those dried flowers and soaps and candle shops. Oh, God.
Yup.
Every store had potpourri.
I was pissed honest about my asthma because I grew up in like rural Texas and then moved to Delaware at 12 years old, and that first summer I developed asthma.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gotten
Because
worse.
we grew up in wide open prairie situation where it was partially desert, partially prairie. We didn't have that much pollen except for like 1 month out of the year.
Yep.
And you move to a countryside where it's, rains 3 times a week and everything grows and everything's in bloom all year long.
It's terrible.
I understand completely.
That year and a half I spent in Jersey, the armpit of America, holy crap, that was the worst year of my life. Breathing-wise.
Yeah.
The air in New Jersey is actually toxic.
Yeah, certain parts of it, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
We were right next to right off the bridge, so it was all of the plants, all the factories, all the pollution.
Can I just have a medical book where I say how much I love my queens, my Port of Queens? Oh my god! I love them!
I am incredibly sexually attracted to all of them.
No, maybe not. Maybe like 6 out of the 8. There's 2 that are very definitely iffy.
But like personality-wise, they might be my type.
I really honestly think the Queens of the East would not be anybody's type. You don't remember what they look like. I'm going to show you what they look like, just because you kind of need a reminder. So here's the first one.
I like that there are things that you can do that you do regularly to be like, Dippy, no, stop being horny. Just stop. But I can't do it. That's my default setting.
But I'm your friend. So that's one of the Queens of the East.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the other one.
The first one really does it for my attitude. Like, that's 100% up my alley. I'd be like, oh, but I can fix her.
I can fix her.
It's a project.
Yeah, no, the other piece is totally my type.
The broken housewife.
1950s nuke wife, yes, please.
And she's got Munchausen syndrome.
By proxy, specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got Munchausen by proxy, very definitely. Oh my god. So dysfunctional.
After I landed a good husband with my taste in people.
Right? I'm going to delete those 2 pictures so you don't confuse us. So, so Fala, are you back now, sweetie?
Yeah, they came up and it was basically a fucking siren. He was screaming.
Aww.
He's just being an asshole. He wants his car.
He's being a 3-year-old. Let's face it. The 3-year-olds are assholes on the car.
It's true. Fucking times. But he's all talking to me sweet. Like,
I feel like you're an asshole or synonymous.
Exactly.
They're monsters.
Yeah, it's typically rude because we would never tolerate them otherwise.
Right? I had to sit him down and he's still yelling and screaming and I'm like, we don't do that in my house. I'll put you out on the dog's chain. You want out on the dog's chain, do you?
Get it, girl.
You on the leash?
No, let's use this, yes.
That would fuck me up.
That's Topper.
That would really fuck me up.
Charlie, my granddaughter, would very definitely have said yes.
Okay, so this
That
kid,
sounds more fun than sitting here.
this kid does not like Jell-O.
Texture.
Yeah. He don't eat anything. The only thing I've found so far that he eats is french fries, cheese, and fucking, chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's standard toddler.
Yeah, that's toddler's diet, basically. Yeah, they usually
grow at all.
They don't usually consume pepperoni pizza happily.
No, not this one.
And gallons of milk.
Yes.
My kid pretty much, he won't eat anything green I put on his plate except for cucumbers. But he'll walk out into the garden and he'll pick an entire garlic stalk or green onion and just sit there and eat the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's largely the inspiration for Flonkin. Like as I was making these character choices based on him, it's like, oh, he's a psychopath, isn't he?
I love it.
He was going through a biting phase. He's mostly grown out of that, but that was where the cannibalism came from.
Oh my god. Yeah, my younger twin brothers through a biting phase to the point where, like, when they did need to go to the emergency room, which was, once every other month, every single time CPS would come and interview my parents because it looked like fist marks. Like, it looked like we were punching them with closed fists, but they were just biting each other.
He drew blood on me a few times.
Yeah, they're like pit bulls, man.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
Those are nicer.
Yeah, pit bulls are definitely nicer and dumber.
Yeah. Can attest. Do have one. So dumb.
So I mean, let's face it. You have the ultimate cross. You have a lab pit bull cross.
Oh no! And then you add in the boxer. He's a lab pit bull boxer mix. He's neurotic as fuck.
And stupid.
It's the worst combination.
But also forever a juvenile because labs never grow up. They're puppies till they die.
Oh, forever puppy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then meanwhile, Negan is Black Lab Australian Shepherd, so he's still puppy. He has like the dignity of an old British man.
Right, and all the intelligence.
All the way too smart. Sometimes I hate him.
Yeah. All right. Let us know when you're ready, Carla. Yeah. Yeah, she shouts from across the room. I love you, guys.
As she chases down a toddler, she's like, "Yeah, no, everything's fine. Nothing's on fire. It's fine."
It is, I swear. Well, clearly she can hear us, even if she's still across the room. So this is going to continue. And what? Yeah, no. Let's do this. Okay.
Oh my
right,
god.
this is
Goblin has been activated.
So as you're walking in town, as you're leaving the court and walking into town, you do see ahead of you several shops, including one that is dedicated to lotions and potions and all things to keep you healthy. One that is dedicated to all things made by hand, whether it's small objects made out of leather, or small handmade jewelry, or small, trinkets that just adorn your home. It's just handworks, a little, like a combined craftsperson shop type thing. And one that is indeed dedicated to books.
Alice doesn't believe in self-care, so I guess I'll follow her into the bookstore.
Oh my god.
Do you guys think that maybe what is your Raven Queen the queen of?
I was thinking about what you said about the Raven Queen, and I don't think it changes the character. I think Silas just fundamentally misunderstands what his job is, and that's why he kills people.
I'm here for that.
Yeah, I think she's a god and a very kind of alien intelligence, and gives instructions in a sort of esoteric way, and just Silas never really understands and mostly just kills people. Because I mean, he's a Yuan-Ti, and they're all sort of like lawful evil to begin with. I don't think Silas really is that anymore, but he also doesn't really have a conventional morality.
Right? Yeah, I'm here for that. All right. Yeah. No, I'm very here for that.
So does that mean that you guys don't think that maybe we should be getting like healing potions or anything?
Oh, healing potions. Probably. I usually just find good berries and eat a lot.
Oh, don't you worry about those going through your thighs?
I don't think so. And she, like, Isla's, like, touching her hips and thighs now with a worried expression.
Oh, okay, well...
You just got body image issues.
Right?
Oh my God.
Okay, you look so very nice. I mean, right now. But you know, in 10, 20 years, who knows where you will be?
Sure.
So,
Maybe we could get some health potions. Sure. Oh my.
Oh no.
she's like, can I get a health potion right, please?
Right, yeah, no, she's like, do you have diet health potions?
So are you going into the apothecary shop then?
Yeah.
All right. As you make your way inside, the interior of the shop, I mean, it smells like lush. You're overpowered by the scent of herbs and oils and perfumes and unguents and salves and all of the wonderful things that people could make to put on their bodies to create scents other than body. There are candles all over the shop, most of them lit, whirring with each other with their fragrance. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Isla's eyes are watering. She's trying to blink back tears as she, like, feels her way towards the counter.
Yeah.
And I need help. I need health potions that will not go to my thighs.
And behind the counter, there is indeed incredibly Zoftig, hedonistic woman. You know, she looks up at you and says, can I help you? And she's everywhere. The word that you could use to describe her is soft. Everything about her is soft. Her soft blonde hair to her very soft body. You feel like if you poked her, she would giggle like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Before I ask any other questions, do you take anything that you make here? Do you consume the potions from this shop?
Oh, my dear, absolutely. I take my own tonics religiously. Every morning I get up and I take a glow beautiful potion. And it does wonders for your skin. And you see, it makes my hair go so lovely.
Isla looks like a deer in the headlights, and she is slowly backing out of the shop.
Feel free to come back when you have other needs, darling.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye.
Did you go in, Jade?
Oh yeah. Jade is standing over where there's a bunch of different perfumes and oils, and she's kind of and she comes out and basically do you remember the aura of Aquanet from the 90s?
Oh my God.
It was a bad idea. I don't should ever go back in there.
Woman, I graduated in 1982. The ozone hole has my name on it. I was a big hair girl. Is that what you want?
Yeah, Isla's just kind of patting Jade on the back while she like sneezes and coughs it out, and she's like, "We should not go back in there."
Your sister keeps for bringing it.
Drift, did you go inside that shop?
Oh no, absolutely not.
All right. No, I realized
These like two war-torn looking women like sobbing like they just got gassed coming out of the shop.
Confirms his decision not to go.
I'm the dumbass that pulled the grenade, fucking threw the pin and kept the grenade.
I'm like, the shop next door is this handicraft shop, and it's enchanting. There are tiny wooden toys in the window. There are beautiful boxes with inlaid shell on the top. There's sparkly things hanging from the curtain rods. There's musical sounds as wind chimes tinkle in the doorway. It's just every one of those wonderful handmade craft shops that you could wander in for hours and never buy anything in because everything is far too expensive and you don't want to question the price because you know somebody put their heart and soul into making it and it's worth the price, but you still can't afford it.
Ah, my life.
Yeah, Drift will definitely go in there and look for something shiny for his queen.
Okay.
Yeah, I will follow just to meander.
All right. And you find yourself inside the shop and you are greeted by a strange-looking man standing behind the counter. He is humanoid, but he also looks quite vegetal. He has a pumpkin for a head. And the glint of something kind of orange underneath his rather rotund body underneath his clothing looks orange, like he might have a rather large pumpkin for a body. His hands are green as he's sitting there working on a carving.
Can I tell what he's carving?
It looks to be some sort of a tablet or disc or amulet. Very definitely has a magical pentacle on the front already.
Oh, hey there, bud. That's a neat orange head.
And he looks at you and says, greetings. Sun greet you today. How can I help you?
Oh, just having a look.
Oh, feel free. There are many wonderful crafts in here. Many wonderful crafts people in the area.
So is there any just like one thing that kind of jumps out at me?
Roll perception.
Indeed. It's like, wait, roll.
Oh, yeah. Roll a d4.
Give me a sec. One.
You see in front of you, off to one side, a rack of corked vials, glass containers, and one of them is blue, one of them is red. It doesn't look like they contain potions. It's more like they contain gaseous vapor or something that is not necessarily solid within them. There's something very definitely inside. They're tightly corked and sealed, but they don't necessarily contain anything solid that you can see. It's not a liquid or solid inside them. It's just something that's just inside there that you feel will escape when the vial is opened. And there's a whole rack of them, and there's red and blue and green. But one at the end really catches your attention. It is sparkling, and it has glints of gold, but also glints of, shocking white and sparkling silver coming out of it.
Oh, so tell me about these vials then.
And he says, those are captured essences. One of the craftspeople is a artificer of some skill, and they are actually able to capture a minute portion of different essences and place them in vials.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly the kind of thing you'd want.
They can prove useful. They can absolutely prove useful.
First, I'm going to look around to make sure Jade isn't too close, just because I think she'd already be opening the vials if she was.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. She's currently there was like some sort of mouse creature that went by, and she's trying to catch it from underneath the thing. She's like, come here, I got extra beans.
All right, we'll deal with the capturing of the mouse here in a moment. But for now, she's safely out of the way.
I haven't got a lot of coin. How much then for that vial on the end?
He looks at that and says, well, you have a good eye, sir. That is a rare essence indeed. I couldn't take less than 10 gold for that one.
Is Silas I don't think Silas is the type to barter. I think he just accepts that and hands over 10 gold.
All right. And you have acquired captured lightning.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think he just kind of wraps a raven feather around it with a little twine.
Okay.
And, that's it.
So you have the essence of lightning in a bottle, which at the level you're at right now, if you use, will give you one use of the lightning spear cantrip.
Okay.
And as you go up, we'll adjust what it does. As you go up in level, we'll adjust what it does.
Cool.
Okay? I think the next level up will be, like level 4 and 5 will be one use of shocking grasp. Okay?
Yeah. I'm done in the store. I'll just wander out.
Okay, so you're just going to wander on outside. Isla, what are you doing?
When they walked in and she saw this pumpkin-headed humanoid vegetation creature, she kind of got like a little smitten, and as Drift is like leaving the shop, she just kind of goes up to him and reaches out a hand and like pats his pumpkin head. She's like, I love pumpkins.
Thank you, I think.
Are you a pumpkin?
Partly.
How does that work?
Well, I mean, have you heard of automatons?
No.
Constructs?
No.
Well, I'm a vegetal construct. A rather skilled druid artificer made me some time ago.
Do you need to be watered?
No, when my pumpkin gets a little bit stale and maybe a little bit squishy, I just carve a new one.
Oh. You make a new head
Yes,
for yourself.
yes.
Real low maintenance boyfriend you found.
He actually makes all of his limbs. He has a garden outside of town where he grows vegetable melons or British call them vegetable melons, we call them, no, zucchini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He grows zucchini for his arms and legs and large pumpkins for his body and the smaller, pie pumpkins for his head.
Well, I am very glad to have met you. Here you go. And she's gonna just like kiss him on his pumpkin head and say, the Wild Mother probably favors you because I think she probably also likes pumpkins. Have a good day.
No, I know my maker served her, so that makes sense.
Oh,
Thank
lovely.
you.
Bye. And she's just like leaving. Like she just wanted to talk to the pumpkin guy.
Right? So you step outside. What are you doing, Jade? You're trying to catch a mouse?
Yes, I'm trying to be like, come get this beans. If it's okay. Come on. Because she already, like, almost had an asthma attack in the other place. And, Drift was very spot on with if she looks up, she's touching everything. She needs to know, it needs to be written down. So she thinks that it is best if she just keeps her head in the ground and stays grounded and, oh look, a mouse. That is so beautiful.
But what comes out from behind to eat the things out of your hand is not a mouse.
Oh.
It's a tiny little construct that looks like this.
Did I lose you?
No, I was taking a picture. Are you with me?
My hand?
Huh?
Does it come to my hand?
Yeah, it comes to your hand.
Oh, I'm going to pick him up. And excuse me, Mr. Pumpkinhead.
Oh, yes, hello.
Is this friend for sale?
Oh, well, where did you find that?
He was under there. He likes beans. I like beans. We are besties.
I mean, okay. You were a little strange, but okay.
How much do you want for him?
Oh, I mean, he's not for sale. He's just a living creature. If he wants to go with you, he goes with you.
Oh, do you want to go with me? I'm going to shake his head with my finger, yes.
He resists you shaking his head, but climbs up your shoulder and kind of cuddles into your neck.
Oh, I love you. And she's going to kind of skip out of the store.
I'm sorry, is that like a smiling Twinkie wearing a party hat?
That's the Pokemon card.
Jesus.
I fucking love the idea of a smiling Twinkie. Holy fuck.
And I'm going to give you a bit of meta. This is Giuseppe. And he is essentially 3 uses of the luck spell.
Oh, shit.
Which you can either use as the luck spell, or you can use it to draw a card. 3 cards.
Ooh, I like it.
And what you can specify when you draw those cards is that you draw until you find a good card.
What? That's giving us a new fate. I I love it.
That's the way the card reads.
I'm going to pin it as a newsletter.
All right, so you have found a Giuseppe. So that is 3 uses of luck or 3 draws of a card to find a good card.
You guys, look! I found Blue Friend!
Oh.
It's not truly alive. It's more of a man, like Dippy's mannequins from the night circus.
Oh, it's cute. What is it?
He is a little automaton.
Did you just have a stroke? What?
Yes.
Are you stuttering? Do you have a headache?
No. No.
What did you call it?
An automaton. You know, one of those things kind of like the Pumpkin Man, but not made out of vegetables.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. I think I understand you now.
Yes, he's going to bring us much luck.
I find that incredibly hard to believe. He is very small and a little bit unsettling to look at.
Wow, that is racist. You are racist against small people.
No. That's... No! She looks incredibly offended.
This is so sad. It is okay, little one.
I didn't think it's sad.
He was crying. Did you see him? He was crying.
His whole little weird face is still smiling. It never stops.
Okay, yes, but still, see, he was crying on the inside.
I'm just gonna walk away and go into the bookstore.
Okay.
just completely ending the conversation.
Because Goblin.
Yeah, no, there's no reasoning with this.
Alright, as you make your way into the bookstore, it is a bookstore. And when by a bookstore, I mean there are books everywhere. The archway that you walk through to get into the bookstore literally has a bookshelf built around it so that there are books on either side of the door and books above the door. This similar is the window seat that is the slide window in the front of the store. Very definitely has cushions in it, so you can actually sit in the window and read books if you wish to. But underneath it, there is a bookshelf across the base, and there's a bookshelf on either side of the window and a bookshelf across the top of the window. Every space in this store that can have a bookshelf in it has a bookshelf in it.
I think Isla's gonna walk up to the counter. I have 2 things in mind. Also, hello. How are you? Good to meet you. First off, I need a book about regional plants. For this specific region. I'm not familiar, and I don't want to eat anything poisonous. Second, Tusk Love. Are you familiar?
And the shopkeeper is an aged Canid, which is one of the dog people, one of the Fey Realm's dog people. And he turns around and looks down his, very definite, austere traditional German Shepherd nose through pince-nez glasses that are perched on the end of his nose at you, and he looks at you and says, "I very definitely have a botanical tome." Yes, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but Tusk Love is a very big seller, and we do have several copies of it. He does not necessarily approve of buying the mantles that much, but he carries them.
Oh, well, yes, I'll take the tome and Tusk Love then.
All right, and he goes to one of the shelves and pulls off a not insignificant book. It is, maybe 8 inches by 10 inches, maybe 2 or 3 inches thick, with heavy vellum pages and an illustration like every other page. A hand-drawn illustration like every other page for a botanical tome. And then he pulls Questlove off of one of the shelves at the store, where it's kind of pushed off in a corner. He really does not like this genre of books at all. And you see a garish, small volume. It's not very thick. And on the front, there is very definitely a tiefling and an orc. Very much in love. Like the cover of many romance novels. Bad romance novels. No.
Isla's gonna hold the book up.
It's in your book collection, Mother. Trust me.
This wasn't the book you were speaking of, right? It can't be.
Mama! It is! You found this special copy! This copy? Oh, man. And then check the chat.
No, don't spoil it. And she's gonna slam the book closed. I just wanted to make sure I got the right one. I'll read it in due time. Do not spoil. No spoilers.
No spoilers?
Exactly.
That is, you are going to be so happy with this book, I promise. It is going to be the best book you ever read.
Oh my god.
Yep, there you go, test that.
God damn it.
Right? Are you looking for anything in particular, Cyrus?
No, he's just along.
Alright, what about you, Jade?
Yes, I am looking for the philosophies of Carlos Marxi. He has good book, he's famous in the fairground. He's kind of a revolutionist. And then I would also like to get maybe The Journey, which is this great historical fiction, non-fiction book that was written in the very early days of the world, and it has sea monsters and princesses. So basically, she's looking for the Odyssey in this realm.
Oh my god.
And Karl Marx.
And Karl Marx, yes.
Yes, he says, I don't have the Marxian philosophy. I, however, do have another book of philosophy here which you might be interested in. It is the Osteoros. And I think I have the journey that you're looking for. Perhaps this is it, and we will bring out a copy of Bonefire.
Oh, yes, those are very nice. It is, do you have any goblin bard book?
Well, he says, I think you'll find that the Osteoros is very definitely appeals to your goblin nature.
Okay, do you have anything by a recent goblin? His name, I think it rhymes with, it was Desmodian, Twinkletoes.
Desmodian Twinkletoes. Oh, you mean the publisher goblin?
Yes.
Well, I have his autobiography.
I used to know him a long time ago. He was kind of a dick.
So I understand. I have not read the full autobiography, but from what I've heard, it is fascinating, but also rather appalling.
Yes, he stabbed me 2 times and left me for dead. Fuck him. You know what? Can I have the book so I can burn it?
All right. I will sell you the book, the autobiography of the publishing goblin, if that's what you wish to have.
Yes, I will pay you double for it.
Oh my god.
Okay, just a moment, young King Robert. I will find that for you.
Don't buy. What? I did not. You take that back.
What's he tell you?
I don't know.
What are you talking? What are you talking?
You talking? That's what it was. They you gotta know the territory.
Oh my god. Oh jeez. Oh, by the way, quick question. How much are the 2 books that Isla wants to buy?
Hold on, I'll get to that in just a moment. I'm looking for the autobiography of the Pumpkin Goblin.
Jesus Christ.
I knew I had seen it, and here it is. I found it. So, all right. So, you have 3 books available to you there, Jade. You have the Osteos, Bonfire, and the autobiography of the Publishing Goblin.
Oh, okay. So, how much is this?
It looks at you and says, oh, let's see here. The Osteos and Bonfire, those are 2 gold each. The autobiography of the Goblin is 3 gold. So that's 2 for 7 gold, correct? And you, young lady, the botanical tome, it is 10 gold. Test gold is an additional gold. So that would be a total of 11 for you.
All right. And yeah, she doesn't really understand the value of money, so she's just going to hand over 11 gold, no problem.
Okay. So you have acquired the botanical of the realms and Tusk Glove. And are you buying all 3 books there, Jade?
Yes, but I am going to give him my platinum. But while I go into my pocket, I'm going to be like, oh, god damn it, I'm broke. And I am going to distort its value again. So I'm overpaying him, but I kind of can't. I can't stop myself from doing it. So she's going to pull out 2 of the platinum pieces, which is the 10 gold.
Right. He pushes one back to you and then hands you 3 golden change.
Oh, don't take that one. That one's my favorite one, so I'm going to give him the real one.
Okay, so
Fake one. So that I wasn't. Her intention wasn't to deceive him really. Oh shit! I hit the wrong button. Remove, not add. But you know, her little goblin nature, it got the better of her, so she wants to make sure that he gets the real one. But I'm kind of a little confused if I get him the real one, so I'm going to. Okay, so if this disappears, you know, you can find me at the inn. It's just in case, because I have magic coin, and sometimes they're just like, boop, and then they end up back in my pocket.
Alright, heads or tails?
I will go ahead.
Alright?
Tell I'm very sure of that.
Well, you got heads.
Does get the real one?
Yeah, you got the heads coin. So you gave him the real coin.
Yay! I don't want to like get bad in with the librarian guy, you know. It never ends well.
It's a very bad thing to do. It's a bad habit to get into. So you have acquired the autobiography of the Publishing Goblin, the Osteos, which is, as you investigate it, you will find it is a mysticism tome, wrapped up in the gods of the Fey realm and of the Shadowfell. And you have also acquired Bonfire, which in the heritage of the Odyssey is a long epic poem, a very rambling epic poem.
Yay!
Before they leave, Isla is gonna kind of like lean across the counter and like lower her voice while she talks to the guy. This might sound weird, but bear with me. Would you like a belly rub or a little scritch behind the ears?
And he looks at you and says,
That's racist.
you're staying at the inn?
Yes.
Maybe later after I'm off duty. After I close the shop.
Oh, okay. I mean, belly rubs, they only take about 30 seconds.
Yes, but I don't want to lose my dignity during the daytime.
Fair enough.
You like personal space issue, don't you?
If someone should come in, if someone should come in, you know how it is.
Oh, yes, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Yes, I am staying at the inn. Just ask for Isla, and I will be ready with scritches and belly rubs.
And he looks at you, and he does that happy dog thing where his ears go up, and then they do the airplane thing, and then they go back up again. He's kind of gives you the dog grin. Okay, I'll meet you there.
All right. And then she's like leaving with her friends, like, he is so adorable.
Janelle, I think you just put yourself into a lot more trouble than you realize.
He's a big puppy. Every puppy deserves a belly rub.
Yeah, that's what we will call it these days.
I still feel like I'm telling a joke that I don't understand.
Oh, you will get better.
You read your book.
Yeah, read your book. With that, we're going to pass the day quietly with you guys exploring the city, a little bit of knowledge of the city, wandering around, getting some food, digging around, wasting time, and we will take up our session next week with your second audience with the Queens.